Based on the early reports, at 7:15 a.m., Sung Hee Cho confronts 3 people getting out of an elevator and begins firing. He hits a Virginia Tech counselor, a female student, and her boyfriend. The boyfriend calls 911 for help.
Oh, yeah.
When the police arrive, they find the fatally wounded women, one of whom is in the arms of the man who, to the police, is obviously the perpetrator. He is a male, involved in a heterosexual relationship with one of the victims, and he tries to blame an Asian. Obvious racism. There are no firearms present, of course, and the man himself is wounded, but the police immediately arrest him based only on the evidence I've just given you. They inform the school that the incident has been resolved. And for the next 2 hours, while his girlfriend dies, the white male of European descent is in custody undergoing interrogation. Case closed. This is the idiocy to which politically correct police have been knife-armed. During the same period, Cho returns to his lair and changes identity into his supervillain costume. He photographs himself in the dramatic poses of Korean martial arts pornography, films a video, writes 7 pages of poorly spelled anti-Christian hate manifesto. He was an English major. FedExes it to NBC and loads up his ammo. The ammo is real. He signs the documents with the same name he scrawls across his arm in red ink. It is his supervillain identity, Ishmael Axe. Then, completely unimpeded, he returns to the school. Entering an engineering building, he chains the doors and begins methodically going from room to room, executing innocent people. I don't know if he had any direct relationship to Planned Parenthood, but if he were smart, he would have called it something like academic freedom or intellectual choice. Something like that. Unaware of the existence of Ishmael Axe, one classroom becomes annoyed at being unable to hear the professor because of the loud bang, bang, bang. They assume to be nail guns from some nearby construction.
Yeah.
A female student is dispatched to close the door. And she sees Ishmael walking down the hall with his axe. She informs the class that there is a gunman and returns to her seat. And there she sat, along with everyone else. They all knew they had to do something, but they were all frozen. They couldn't move, though they knew their lives depended on it. In their hearts, they had become sheep. Finally, one young man pushed the teacher's desk in front of the door and saved the lives of the whole classroom by his unique power to overcome social convention. Which brings us to where you live. For more than a quarter of a century, Ishmael Axe has been coming through the Republican Party, and constitutional conservatives have been sitting there in their seats, wishing someone would come and save them. As I speak, Ishmael Axe is coming down the hall of Classroom America. We all know he isn't any kind of construction crew. He's butchering property rights, exterminating national sovereignty, eradicating sexual morality and love, recycling rapists, and literally slaughtering innocent children by the thousands every day. America knows this, and yet sits frozen, unable to act, though the future of freedom and justice on earth depend on it. The Republican National Committee remains seated. They raise verbal objections, but do nothing. They're following the teacher's manual, maintaining decorum. They think you should do the same. Everyone is more comfortable with that. Just sit and wait. They've decided to open a dialogue with the killer. Compromise. That's the answer. Which brings us to you. The world awaits a generation that is undeterred by social convention, that is not psychologically disarmed, that's willing to ignore immobile leadership, and not to push the teacher's desk in front of the door either. They're going to get up from their desks, cross the classroom, and kick the door down, locked and loaded. I'm going to take a parenthetical break and introduce you to Jeffrey Coder. Jeffrey Coder was the guy whose Glock was not that well attached to his jacket. This is a historic excerpt.
Okay, my Glock, I'm going to keep my arm right here so it won't fall out again. Okay. Thank you, Doug, for putting me on here. Okay, Samuel Adams, he's one of my favorite founding fathers. And he made a speech August 1st, 1776, as he addressed the first continental. Okay, Samuel Adams, okay? Right up here. You want me to kiss this thing? Okay, cool. Okay, August 1st, 1776, in Philadelphia, as he addressed his fellow countrymen, he said, "If you love wealth more than liberty, if you love the tranquility of servitude more than the animating contest of freedom, go home in peace. We ask not your counsels nor your arms. Crouch down and lick the hands that feed you. May your chains set lightly upon you, and may posterity forget you were our countrymen." And that's where we're at today.